You're listening to the Fast F1 Podcast. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Fast F1 Podcast with me, Danny Kane.
And I'm Eddie Meteye-O'Kane.
And today we are talking about the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix for 2024, otherwise known as Round 7, at Imola.
Or Imola Grand Prix, or the Emilia Grand Prix, or
Yeah.
the San Marino Grand Prix, or the Italian Grand Prix. We don't even know at this point.
All of those different things. So what's been happening prior to this race here, Eddie?
Alexander Albon makes a weird move and extends his contract at Williams.
Why is that weird?
Well, that means that there's only 5 more people able to make it into the Mercedes seat next year. That includes Carlos Sainz, who I personally think is going to get it, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Mick Schumacher, Frederick Vesti, and who was the last one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why
either.
not Sergio Perez?
I don't think he's that qualified.
Why not? He's driving for Red Bull.
I don't think he's going to stick around at Red Bull,
Okay.
though.
Well, I don't think that he'll be there either.
Who
I have
was
a feeling it won't be Carlos Sainz either. I think it's going to be Antonelli.
I do, too. Gosh, who was it, though?
I don't know.
I don't know either, though.
Well,
That's the thing.
Let's move on then.
Okay. It's been 30 years since the death of Roland Ratzenberger and Ayrton Senna.
Yep, so this race marked 30 years, not to the day, actually not even to the week, but it was the 30th anniversary of the race at Imola where Roland Ratzenberger and Ayrton Senna lost their lives.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty scary weekend. It was known famously in 1994 as the Black Weekend. It wasn't just those two who died. Rubens Barrichello.
Rubens Barrichello had a massive crash.
Yeah.
And nearly died.
Yeah, I think that was his debut season, right?
I don't remember if it was his rookie season or not.
Even if it wasn't. But yeah, if he had died, that would have been 2 Brazilians gone that weekend.
Yeah.
I bet Brazil would have been removed from the calendar if that was the case too.
Brazil?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, maybe, but well, anyway, 30 years on, there was a lot of tributes to Ayrton Senna and to Roland Ratzenberger.
Including a marathon. Sebastian Vettel, 4-time champion for Red Bull, drives the McLaren Senna.
The MP48, I think it was.
The MP48. The McLaren Senna is a sports car.
Yeah. So, moving into the race weekend, free practice. Max Verstappen in practice 1 had a moment.
Yeah, but my goodness, just like in the rain at like every single race he's participated in for the rain at Brazil, again mentioning Brazil, he somehow spins and gets a great save. He was not in the rain. I think it was around corner. If there's like an 18th corner or something there, but it was right at the end of the second sector, starting the third. It's at that very difficult chicane. And he spins it, yet he catches it. He still goes off the track, but goodness, that was amazing.
So a big moment that he saved. And then the other part of free practice 1, Oliver Behrman back in the race seat, or back in the driver's seat, I should say, in Formula 1.
Not for Ferrari, though, for the sister team.
That's right. Yeah, well, for Haas,
Mm-hmm.
customer team. So then moving into qualifying, Oscar Piastri very nearly takes pole position. Max Verstappen had to work really hard for it this time. Off pace all weekend long and does qualify on pole, but only just barely.
Yeah, it was pretty close. And then Oscar Piastri's hit with a grid penalty. After starting second, he has to start 5th.
Yeah, but that penalty was fully deserved. He definitely impeded Magnussen in Q1. And, I mean, yeah, fair enough. That it probably partly the team's fault for not informing him that Magnussen was coming, but...
Yeah. Otherwise, it was a pretty good weekend for Red Bull Junior. Yuki Tsunoda, really good all weekend. Top 5s this weekend. This was amazing for him.
Yeah.
He did really good.
Yeah, he was fast in practice. I believe made it into Q3 in qualifying, and ended up finishing 10th in the end, so 1 point, for the weekend.
That's pretty good for RB. They are really starting to get back away from Haas.
And meanwhile, Perez,
the Red Bull driver, before we say where he started, I'm going to say this. If you want a Red Bull seat in the most dominant team, you need to do your job and qualify where your teammate is. Because if you're starting in P11, 10 places behind your teammate, you're not going to earn that seat, buddy.
yeah, it was a poor qualifying from Perez. But, I mean, both Red Bulls were struggling all weekend. Verstappen managed to pull something out of the bag in the end, but not too surprising that Perez was off pace when Verstappen had been as well. But still kind of a poor qualifying form from Perez. And I think in the end, in the race, he ended up finishing it down in 8th place or 9th maybe. 8th place, I believe it was.
Yes. Well, then again, Max Verstappen did have a bit of help by Nico Hülkenberg, and so did Nico Hülkenberg by Max Verstappen.
The Hulk towed him along a little bit in Q3 to get him started on his lap. But, yeah, Perez finished the race in 8th place. Speaking of the race, Albon.
He ran out of tires.
Well, he certainly was in the pits a lot. I don't know. I don't think I ever found out why he had to keep going in the pits. There must have been some kind of damage or problem with the car because they did eventually retire the car. But, yeah, I think he had 5 or 6 stops before they finally retired the car.
Yeah, he had 4 stops, and if you think... So there are basically 13 tires per session. I think it's 8 softs, 2 hards, and 3 mediums. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me. But you use 5 during practice, and then you use... You use 3 during practice.
Yeah,
Five-
I don't know how all the tire allocations are for each of the teams.
Well, yeah, but five are definitely during qualifying, and then they've got another like 2 or 3 reserved for the race. So, yeah, we still haven't figured it out. I definitely think that he ran out of tires, which is the reason he retired.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one having trouble. Fernando Alonso crashed in practice, comes back out for qualifying and goes off during Q1. And ended up qualifying, I believe, down in 19th.
Yes.
And started from the pit lane.
Yes.
Yeah, so poor qualifying for Alonso, very unlike him. A race to forget for Alonso for sure.
Not to mention just that, well, a race weekend to forget. Not just that, the race to forget. His brakes catch on fire in the pits.
Yeah, his brakes were on fire as he was exiting the pits at one point.
I don't know what's going on with the brakes and the pits this season. Like Max Verstappen, we also saw his brakes explode at Australia.
Well, I mean, it's not too uncommon. We don't see it real often, but it does happen from time to time.
The pits have been a big, I don't know, the race has not been as much full of action. The pits have been where all the action is, not just Australia, not just here, Japan.
Yeah.
And
well, definitely
China.
Here, all of the highlights seem to be in practice and qualifying. The race itself was pretty dull until about the last 10 laps.
Oh my gosh, this was probably the worst race I've ever seen.
Until about 10 laps to go.
Well, until about 10 laps to go, but my
not
gosh.
much action. It was kind of a snoozer. In fact, I think I fell asleep at one point in the middle of the race.
He really did.
Yeah, but then 10 laps to go. Norris about 8 seconds behind Verstappen. He's sitting in second and just suddenly decides, no, I want to win this race, and chased him down.
And he had about 60% left of his battery, and Max Verstappen had about 30. Yet somehow the Flying Dutchman wins again.
Yeah, he did, but he had to work a lot harder for it. Just like in qualifying, he had to bust his butt to get all the way through the race without losing the lead. And Norris did eventually catch up to. They finished the race 0.7 seconds apart. Norris was pretty confident that if he'd had another lap or 2, that he would have gotten Verstappen in the end.
Yeah, and he kept saying on the radio, "Man, it really hurts not to win the race."
Yeah, he was saying that now that he's had a taste for winning, it hurts to not win one.
Yeah, he's not going to feel any more hurt unless he wins a championship, which I can definitely see in the next year or 2.
Well, the last few laps were certainly very exciting, watching the gap come down and seeing if he was going to be able to get close enough to to go for a move, but in the end, he just ran out of time to do it.
Yeah, it was 0.7 seconds. 7/10 of a second. That's pretty close.
Yeah. So moving on to our predictions from last week.
Finally!
So I had gone for Verstappen, Perez, and Norris, and I got Verstappen right.
And then
I got close with Norris, but Perez, nowhere to be seen.
And I got Verstappen right, and then I guess Leclerc and Sainz. Leclerc did not get second. He did get third. Sainz was also nowhere to be seen.
Well, he was fifth, so, I mean, he wasn't too far off the pace, and I think for a while he was sitting in the race in fourth.
If we counted this to be where we don't get them all right, but whoever gets closer, I would finally win something. But we both are duds again.
Well, either way, neither of us got the top three right. We both got first place right, but that hasn't been too challenging this year to just guess Verstappen, and he won the race again.
Yeah.
So what do you think for Monaco?
Oh my gosh, the Ferraris have been really good on pace.
So we're recording this as it is on Friday following the Imola Grand Prix. So
yeah.
Practice at Monaco has already happened, practice 1 and 2. So we know a little bit as
I
we're
haven't
making
seen
these
it.
predictions.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I saw like 5 minutes of practice 1, and then I had to get ready for school. But
Okay.
But I have not seen anything about the rest of practice 1 or practice 2. I am gonna say though, I saw Ferraris really good this weekend, and I think this might be the one.
Yeah, could be. Leclerc in free practice 2, 1 and 2 was looking fast. But
top practice
he was
2?
He was the fastest in practice 2, and I believe Hamilton was fastest in practice 1 and second in practice 2. So the Ferraris and the Mercedes might have some pace. The McLarens might have some pace.
Well,
the Red Bulls.
Well, don't tell me
off their
anything.
pace.
Don't tell me anything. I was gonna predict.
So that's all I'll say. What do you think? What do you think?
I was gonna say I think this might be his time finally to get a podium at Monaco. I think it's gonna be a win at Monaco for Charles Leclerc.
Charles Leclerc home win.
Oh my gosh! Imagine that'd be the. At the same time, that'd be like a pretty big flop too.
If he didn't win.
Yeah, I mean it's been like 5 years in the Ferrari at this point.
Well, he's been quick there before, and nothing's come out of it.
Well, that's because of many pit stop incidents.
Well,
but
for various reasons, he's not had good results at Monaco. So who's your second and third?
Oh my gosh. The 5 minutes that I saw, Russell and Hamilton looked really good. I'm gonna go with Hamilton. I'm gonna give a little bit of a step out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna say Hamilton P2, and then obviously you can't put someone else out of there. I'm gonna say Max Verstappen's P3. And I feel
P3 for Verstappen,
and I feel really confident about this one.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment based on what's already happened in practice. I think Leclerc has a real shot at it. However, I also think that Verstappen is inevitable, and I'm going to say Verstappen in first.
Yeah,
and that you'll have Leclerc either in second or in the wall.
that's true.
And but I'll say Leclerc second, and that you're going to see probably Carlos Sainz in third.
Ooh, but you realize, Dad, even if he gets second in this race, even if he gets third in this race, do you know how big that would be?
It certainly seems like the field is tightening up at the front. Like the Red Bulls are not quite last week, and certainly in Miami, Norris won. So the Red Bulls and Verstappen don't seem to have the dominant car like they have had last year and the early part of this year. So hopefully that means that the other teams are catching up and that we're going to see some real fighting at the front now.
Well, let's see. Because here's the thing. Last year at Monaco, Monaco for last year had the least amount of overtakes of not even 12. Monaco had 11. That's nearly half of the grid to make one overtake.
Yep.
That's very low. So the odds
This is why I don't like Monaco.
Well, yeah, of course,
I think
unless
it's a boring race.
unless it's like the late 1990s where it's all like where Olivier Panis wins and it's like four cars to finish.
Even then, I've never found the Monaco Grand Prix that interesting.
So
that's going to be it, I think, for this episode.
Yes.
The Monaco Grand Prix in a couple of days'
Wait.
time.
Did you do your predictions?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I've got Leclerc and Hamilton and Verstappen.
That's right. Yep. So that'll be it for this episode, Monaco Grand Prix in a couple of days' time. This has been the Fast F1 podcast. Make sure you give this a like wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you next time. I've been Danny Kane.
And I've been Eddie Meteye-O'Kane.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Happy Monaco and happy Indianapolis.
Yeah, the Indianapolis 500 this weekend, too. All right, bye.
Bye.
Fast F1 is produced by Danny Kane and Eddie Meteye-O'Kane. All rights are reserved. Music is performed by Alex Zavesa. Thanks for listening.